Just give like okay. Right. Buddhu Saranai. Today the international welcome to the Venerable Theros, our committee members, Dhamma friends, both in Sri Lanka and overseas. The International Dhamma program is conducting the Full Moon Poya Day Dhamma program today. Today we are having two programs. That is the first one, which is at 3:30, and the other one at 6:30. And I want to remind all our participants, Dhamma friends, that the same connection could be used for both. So they will be able to use the same connection. So today is a very special day for Buddhists because, of course, the full moon Poya Day. And it is very special because of the Vas season, the end of the Vas season, and commencement of the Katina Chivara month of Katina Chivara. So this is a very significant event for all Buddhists, and I'm sure all temples where the priests have been observing Vas that this Pinkama will be held. So today we are very happy to have with us for the Dhamma talk, which will be on the topic of Metta Sutta and development of loving kindness. This will be conducted by Ajahn Vinita from Amaravati Buddhist Monastery in the UK. I wish to thank Dr. Dharmini and Amara Makalanda, who are resident in the UK, for extending the invitation to Ajahn Vinita, and we pay much merit to Ajahn Vinita for accepting our invitation. With respect, I will now invite Ajahn Vinita to deliver Pansil and commence a Dhamma talk on the topic Metta Sutta and development of loving kindness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, I would like to welcome you all today. Good morning, good evening from different places, and welcome to this program. And first of all, we're going to undertake 5 precepts. And to do that, say Namo Tassa 3 times and then follow me.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Atiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami.
Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Yampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami.
Sarana Gamanang Sampunnang.
Bante.
Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adinnadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Innadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Kame Sumicca Rame. Tachara Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Musavada Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Surameraya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Ramire Manjapama Dattana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Isaranena Saddhim Panchasilang Dhammang Sadhukang Surakhitam Katva Appamadena Sampadetha.
So.
Okay, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. So I would like to invite and welcome you all to this program. I'm talking to you from Sri Lanka. So today I have the topic of Metta Sutta and development of loving kindness. This is a very, in Buddhist teaching, this is very important, as well as the Buddha hasn't really given A to Z explanation what the metta is as for our own way of thinking. So we think metta is something that it's a thinking process. We think kind thoughts and we try to spread those kind thoughts to others, to the world. That's what we think the metta is. But metta is completely a very different perspective. The Buddha's perspective on metta is very wide, and it is not specific for any thinking process. It's not specific for any specific way of thinking, but to prove that, or to explain that, first of all, I will read the Metta Sutta in English, and then you can understand what the metta is. Metta is something like, in the end, in the Metta Sutta, it says, with the boundless heart, should one cherish all living beings. So it's with the boundless heart, it's the boundlessness. When the heart is not bound by something, when heart is not shackled by something, when heart is not attached to something, or when heart is not distracted by something, and that's where the heart becomes boundless. So we cannot develop metta without heart becoming boundless or unshackled. So I'm just trying to do something, sorry. So yeah, the heart, when heart becomes boundless, liberated, or unshackled, or free from all desires, the metta cannot be developed without heart becoming detached or free from attachments. So first of all, that's the reflection before I go into the Metta Sutta. So I will read the Metta Sutta as we chant every day at Amaravati, most of the days. So we all know Metta Sutta by heart. Most of Sri Lankans know by heart Karaniya Matta Kusalena Yantang Santang Padang Abhisameccha Sakko Ujucha Sujucha Sochocha Muduanatimani. We chant every day, almost every day. But I will read the English translation of that. This is what should be done. One who is skilled in goodness. So one who is skilled in goodness. So, and who knows the path of peace. So the Metta Sutta starts with the one who knows the path of peace. So metta is, in fact, the deep meaning is peace. It's a part of peace. Let them be able and upright. Sakko ujuja sujuja. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech. I'm not going to repeat in Pali because most of you know that in Pali. Gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways. That's the first part. Sakko ujuja sujuja suochochassa mudu anatimani santussakocha subarocha appakichocha sallahukauti. That's the part that I said in English. So we can go back to that. Let them be able and upright. Okay, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways. So the next part, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. So may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or small, weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life, her child, her only child, Mata Yatanyam Puttang, Ayusayaka Puttamanurake, so with the boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. That's the part I gave at the introduction. With the boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, excuse me, free from hatred and ill will. So that's what it's an absence. Metta is something like absence. What is absent from hatred and ill will? So it's absent from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to wrong views or fixed views. So by not holding to fixed views. So I'll come to that later. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. So this is the full translation of the Metta Sutta. Lord Buddha, he said in many places, in some places in suttas, one who practices or one who masters metta, he can become the least he can become is anagami, or the non-returner, or he or she can become fully enlightened by practicing, developing metta. So here, in latest, the current interpretation for the metta is called loving kindness. but because Pali text, Pali canon is very new to English language. So this is the closest, or this is the closest they can get to explain the metta is loving kindness. But loving kindness is more like something that, loving kindness is more like kind of thought process. You're loving. Love is a thought. Love is a thought process, thinking process. Kindness is a thought process or thinking process. But that's why I said at the beginning, um, 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 I said at the beginning, we can't really give one pinpoint explanation to this term, to this word metta, because when I read the Metta Sutta, you could see, you could understand how deep and how different than thinking process. It's practicing metta is not some kind of thinking process. So with the boundless heart, that's one of the in the middle of the sutta, it says, with the boundless heart, the heart has to be boundless, not bound by anything. So we can say, we become bound by desires, different attachments, or bound by many things. And another bondage or bondage is holding to fixed views. So we have strong fixed views about something. When you have a view about something, that view, you are bound, you are attached to your view, your way of thinking, we are attached. So practicing metta is, you have to entirely, completely be free from any kind of attachment, any kind of attachment to any view, any opinion, any thinking process. So metta is the metta meditation is something very, very different thing. When you understand, when you practice, it's a very different than what we commonly practice. So especially in Sri Lanka, we commonly practice, it's very verbal. We verbalize that, may I be well, may others. It's a good thinking, it's a good thought process, it's a good thinking, but we can think 1,000 things and still repeat or chant, may I be well, may others be well, may I, so on. You can repeat with many other thoughts. So we have to understand this is not a thinking process. This is completely, the metta develops, metta happens in a boundless heart. The heart that is not bound to anything. Heart is not attached to anything. Heart is not limited by anything. So then we can think about what are the limitations. What are the limitations we have? For example, if you have an attachment or some kind of distraction, even when mind is distracted, we still can't practice metta meditation. We still can't develop metta. The distraction could be very minor, very, very simple thing. So the mind has to be, the attention, awareness, mindfulness has to be fully on, focused on with practice of mindfulness, or mindfulness on the body, or mindfulness on the mind. So it has to be completely free and undistracted. So, and like I said, you're not holding to any fixed view. So we have lots of views about things. So when, for example, when you are attached to a view, let's say, I'm right, they're wrong. For example, I'm right, they're wrong, or I'm wrong, they're right, or I'm better, they're not better. So I'm inferior, they're superior. I'm superior, they're inferior. Whatever view that you are holding on to, as long as you are holding on to any view, your heart is not free. Heart is not liberated. Heart is not boundless. Your heart is bound. Your heart is limited. Your heart is narrow. So metta doesn't happen in a narrow, limited, bound heart. So heart has to be free, unlimited, and boundless. To do that, to be able to do that, uh, um, that's why Buddha explained this. He didn't quite explain word by word, but he gave this summary of the great qualities that you can develop, and by practicing these qualities, then you become boundless and free. So if I go again to the sutta, able and upright. So we can reflect on that. Are we upright? Sometimes we are not upright. We feel limited or jailed, or sometimes we feel imprisoned, imprisoned in something, imprisoned in our own feelings, attachments, different thoughts, different feelings, emotions. We get imprisoned by our emotions. When you are imprisoned by your emotions, and that imprisonment, that living in that very imprisoned situation, so metta doesn't happen. Upright. So to break that jail, to break that imprisonment, you have to be upright. Understand that? So you have to be upright. Practice the quality of being upright, truthful and upright. So upright, straightforward. And sometimes we are not straightforward. We in English it says, we beat around the bush. We are not upright. So there's something to hide and something to throw under the carpet, and we're not upright about ourselves or emotions or situations. Or one of the qualities the Sotapanna person, Buddha said, they cannot hide anything. They're very upright, straightforward and upright. They cannot conceal anything, conceal their wrongdoing, or they're not concealing anything. So upright, straightforward and upright. And then your heart becomes direct, straightforward and upright. Gentle in speech at the same time. You're not only just straightforward and upright, but you are gentle in your speech. So gentle in speech. Humble and not conceited. Sometimes, humility is one of the greatest, one of the last, the mana, ego, is the opposite of humility. So ego is one of the last shackles, last attachments that's let go by someone. That's only an arahant would have completely free from ego. So humble and not conceited. So that's another two qualities, humble and not conceited. Contented and easily satisfied. So how much content we are. So contentment is another quality. Just reflect on these qualities. And even if you have just one quality of all the qualities from Metta Sutta, just one quality, contented. If you're content, that very quality is enough to feel free, enough to feel unshackled, unbound to many things. Just one quality. Contentment, yeah, contented and easily satisfied. So that's another quality in the Metta Sutta, easily satisfied. We can reflect on that too. Are we satisfied? So we live life completely, always dissatisfied. Whatever we do, we're dissatisfied. Even I'm talking about Dhamma practitioners, people who practice Dhamma, even Dhamma, among Dhamma practitioners, there's lots of discontentment or lots of dissatisfaction. Why we are not? That's the nature of this system. That's the nature of this human being. You know, whatever we do, even if you are such a good person, even if you are a good person, we're still not very satisfied. We always dissatisfied about something. So that's the other quality, easily satisfied, unburdened with duties. So that's the next one. We always feel so burdened with duties. You know, we take on lots of things that we cannot complete, we cannot fulfill. So we take lots of duty we cannot fulfill, and then it creates that inner stress, tension. So when you have inner stress and tension, you cannot see beyond that. When you cannot see beyond that, you are here. You are bound. You are bound, and you are shackled, chained by your burdened stress, your stress or tension. So that's the other quality, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, being frugal, not being wasteful as a human being is very, very important. We never think that these qualities, how could these qualities apply in terms of practicing metta? So frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful. So peaceful, calm, wise and skillful. So we have to wait for that. You know, you cannot just be peaceful. You cannot create peacefulness unless you practice mindfulness, awareness, satipatthana, meditation in brief. You know, if you don't practice meditation, it's not easy to find peace. So peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. So not proud and demanding. So whether something good or bad, sometimes we think, oh, I'm proud. I seen in Sri Lanka, in many some vehicles, some cars have a kind of sticker saying, I'm proud to be Buddhist. And it really cringed me. Now I feel like cringing, you know, how can you be proud to be Buddhist? You know, what just by saying that, you know, it's a disgrace. It's disgraceful to the Buddha. Buddha, you know, his teaching is completely the opposite. Is being proud, you know, being proud. You know, the pride can destroy your life. Pride can destroy other people's lives, and pride is could become very toxic, poisonous thing. could destroy, could ruin your life. Your good qualities, your goodness, your purity. So not proud and demanding in nature. When you become proud about something, what happens? You start to demand. When you're proud, then you start to demand. When you begin to demand, when you start to demand, demanding is something, is not peaceful. And it's not endless, it's endless. Demanding is not peaceful. So when you begin to demand, that's the result of being proud. So not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. So that's the social norm that we live in. So when you live in the society, there are also social norms that we have to follow. I saw the next topic is convention and the convention related or something. So there are also conventions that we have to comply to. So when we live in the society, when we live in the society, we think about what other people think about us. And you don't have to be obsessive about that, but the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. There are wise people in the world. There are people who have wisdom. Wise and peaceful people would reprove or criticize later, and I would avoid doing those kinds of actions and engage in those kinds of words. And I don't say those kinds of words, and I don't do those kinds of actions. So avoid that kind of actions and speech, even thoughts. If you understand that this would be reproved, criticized by the wise people one day, so you avoid that. And in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. So every being be at ease in this gladness and in safety. Whether whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none. So whatever living being in the world, whether they are weak or strong, so you don't omit any living being. So there are living beings and they're very dangerous, scary, but you don't omit. You don't omit any living being. That's why I said, your heart has to be completely free to feel the metta. It's only the metta happens. I use that word happens. Oh, the metta happens only when the heart is completely free and boundless. So may all living beings, so whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, dittavaya dittava. So remember that those living near and far away. So any living being living near or far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. So this ease, how would you know what is or how the feeling of at ease if you are not at ease? You have to understand or realize or see what is at ease in yourself to be able to see the world with that feeling of at ease. So you have to be at ease first to develop the quality of being at ease. So let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. So let none deceive another. So that's your heart is straightforward and upright. When your heart, when your being is straightforward and upright, you cannot deceive anybody. So that anybody could include yourself. Sometimes we don't deceive others, we don't cheat or we don't deceive others, but we don't despise others, but we despise and deceive ourselves. So you cannot even do that. When your heart is at ease, when you experience what is being at ease, then you cannot deceive yourself. You cannot deceive anybody else because your heart is at ease. Feeling at ease, feeling of being at ease is more than anything that you would have ever felt or you would ever going to be feeling. So it's such a joyful, such a free, such a liberating experience. We all are, trying to reach liberation, trying to understand liberation, freedom. We're all searching freedom, inner freedom, freedom in the heart, liberation in the heart, a heart which is unshackled, unchained, get out of this jail, get out of this prison. The prison is in the heart. This heart is the prison. The thoughts are the prison. The views and opinions are the prison. The attachment to anything, attachment to any view, any opinion, or attachment to anything, really simply, attachment to anything creates your own prison in your own heart. So as long as you live in that prison, you are not at ease. So long as you are not at ease, you cannot feel, you cannot experience what the metta is, what the loving kindness is. So let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. So through anger or ill will, we don't wish harm upon another. This is a very interesting, for me, it reminds me, and I have good reflection about that. Through anger or ill will, we wish harm upon another. So we become so heated up, we become so stuck up with when you are being criticized, for example. When you feel like you're being criticized, you feel you start to you get angry about something. When you're angry, and you feel like you harm yourself first. You criticize yourself first, and then you get thoughts of harming, or I don't mean physical harm yet, but harm someone verbally. When you feel heated up, when you are angry, you want to say something, and say something to hurt, to cut someone's pride or someone's respect. So you don't wish harm on anybody through anger or ill will. Even as a mother protects with her life, her child, or her only child. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. So even as a mother protects with her life, a mother has only child. So for that mother, that only child is like her own life. So even as a mother protects with her life, her child, her only child. So with the boundless heart should one cherish all living beings. So that's how the heart becomes. So with the boundless heart. So heart has no boundaries. Uh, what creates boundaries? Like I said at the beginning, many things like anger is creating a boundary, or attachment to opinions and views create boundaries. So these are the boundaries that make it. So it's with the boundless heart, you cherish all living beings as much as yourself. Radiating kindness over the entire world. So with this ease of the heart, so you feel at ease in yourself. With that feeling of at ease, with that experience of at ease, that feeling of at ease, you spread, you donate, you offer your feeling of your experience of boundless heart, you offer as a gift all to the world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths. So up and down and all the direction into the all everything, every direction you spread this feeling of boundless heart. Outwards and unbounded. So it's not bounded by anything. Sometimes if you feel like you're bound by something, or I cannot feel at ease when I remember that person or that incident. When I remember what happened 10 years ago, I cannot feel at ease. So that's, again, you are bound, you are shackled, you are limited, you are prisoned. So you come out of that prison, and then outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will. So that feeling of unboundedness, that feeling of freedom is freedom of ill will. So freedom of ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down. So that's why sometimes we talk, we discuss, we think meditation is all about sitting. You had to sit morning, afternoon, evening. You had to sit 3 times, 5 times, 6 times a day. The Buddha says in this Metta Sutta, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down. So this practicing of loving kindness, practicing of meditation, like I said at the beginning, it's an experience of feeling free and feeling unbound, feeling at ease. And that feeling of at ease in your heart, feeling of unbound, feeling of out of prison, feeling of feeling of free, liberated, feeling of liberation doesn't limit only into your sitting meditation, whether you're walking, standing, or lying down, free from drowsiness. So once you experience that freedom, that liberation, that unbounded nature in your own heart, and you are not limited when you can develop that, whether you are standing, walking, sitting, or lying down, any posture, at any position, it's natural, it becomes your nature. That unbound, free heart becomes your nature. So once it becomes your nature, it's like we say your second nature. In fact, that is the very natural nature of a human being, that kind of freedom, that liberation. We are so conditioned by many things. We get so conditioned by what we have heard and what we see, what we have seen. So we're so conditioned by many things, and we are so conditioned by our own opinions, our own thoughts, our own views. We become so conditioned by those opinions and views and uh, what we see, what we hear. And once you are unconditioned, then that purity is the natural state of mind. So then whether you're walking, seated or lying down, you don't have drowsiness. You are not tired, because mind is always tired, because mind is thinking all the time, endlessly thinking. And that thinking creates fear. Thinking creates fear. When your heart is thinking and thinking and thinking, it creates fear. Fear makes you tired. And when your heart is free and liberated, there's no fear. And when there's no fear, you see no fear in your own heart, in your own self, and that's how you see the world. Through that, the feeling of non-fear, no fear. So this is said to be the sublime abiding. This is the sublime abiding. So this is the sublime abiding. This is sublime. This is noble. This is noble abiding. This is sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, like I said before, we become so judged and imprisoned, limited, narrow-minded by holding to fixed views, holding to some views. So it could be anything, for example, gold. We all know gold is very precious, expensive. But if you make a dagger, a knife from gold, that knife would cut as much as it does with a metal knife. Because it's gold, it wouldn't stop cutting you. So if you hold on to anything, even if it's gold, even if it's so precious, still the preciousness is still there, but you're holding onto that would destroy, would harm you. It could be anything. It could be a good thought. It could be a noble thought. Even a noble thought, if you hold on to that, if you fix onto that, if you hold on to that, that's going to hurt you. It's not the material, it's the holding on to something. It's going to hurt you. So yeah, if you by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one. So that's how heart becomes pure, not holding to fixed ideas, fixed views, fixed opinions. Once you're not fixed, or once you're not holding on to anything too hard, too tight, and your heart becomes free or pure. It's called pure-hearted. Heart becomes pure, because in your heart, really, there's nothing. There's nothing you're holding on to. There's no shackle. You're not shackled to anything. You're not bound by anything. You're not limited by anything. You are out of prison. You are liberated, free. So that freedom, that's liberation, is the pure-hearted one. That's how heart becomes pure. Having clarity of vision. So when your heart is pure, you're not bound by anything. You're not shackled by anything. You're not limited by anything. Your vision, your vision becomes pure, clear. So you have only pure vision, clear vision. What you see is not the physical eye vision. This is the vision that it's more like mental thing. So the vision becomes very clear. And being free from all sense desire. So once you have that kind of clarity, that kind of freedom, sense desires become very, very minimal. You have no interest in sense desires. You're not chasing sense desires because they don't mean anything in comparison to the freedom, to the liberation that you experience. Sense desires is like it's only painful. So liberation, freedom is such a blissful experience. So sense desire, you naturally feel free from it. You naturally feel free from sense desires, and is not born again into this world. So that's how our, as a Buddhist, our final destination, final goal is liberation, nibbana, or not born into this world, because this world is sensual world. This world is like a whirlpool of desires and anger and frustration and fear. So once your heart is free from that desires through pure heart, through experiencing the purity in the heart, when desires naturally go away, naturally disappear, and then that is called not born again into this world. So this is the Metta Sutta, and it's very, very different from what we have traditionally heard, and so it's very wide. It's very wide, very deep meaning, very again, boundless meaning, very, very wide meaning. So now I would stop here, and if you have anything to ask, please feel free to ask anything.
Thank you very much, Bante. I think it was really explained in very simple, maybe English, where everyone would have understood the meaning of the Metta Sutta, and of course, the loving kindness. I think some of them would like to know about Metta Bhavana, how they can really engage in this and maybe able to help them in carrying out the various functions that Ajahn mentioned.
Oh, yeah, again, like I said, Metta Bhavana. Bhavana means to develop or to improve or develop. So development. So, like I said, your bhavana doesn't really mean, like I said earlier, you don't have to go and sit somewhere to practice meditation, whether walking, seated, or lying down, whatever you're doing. So all the qualities that I read in this Metta Sutta, for example, upright, straightforward, gentle in speech, humble, not conceited. For example, first part, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their way. So let's take the first part, right? And let them be able and upright. So you don't need to go and sit down to understand what is being upright. So you can, while you're traveling on a bus or on a train, you can see, am I upright? Am I straightforward in myself? Then you can reflect. These are all reflections. Meditation is not just, it is, there are meditation, like if you practice breathing meditation. For example, Anapanasati, you have to go and sit somewhere, sit down, and then you practice Anapanasati. That's the different meditation methods that you can practice just by sitting. But practicing metta, again, you can reflect on this. You can download and read it again and again and again, and make it as a mirror. Metta Sutta is your mirror. Upright, straightforward, gentle in speech. Do I reflect that? So you can ask that question. Do I reflect uprightness? Do I reflect straightforwardness in myself? Am I gentle in speech? Am I humble? Am I conceited or humble? Or am I contented or discontented? So you can ask that question. So questioning yourself is a very good way of meditation, very good way of development of loving kindness. So you can ask, am I satisfied or dissatisfied? So you can ask that, I'm dissatisfied about certain things. So, okay, so noted. So this is about self-realization. You realize who you are, you understand who you are, and you cannot conceal who you are. And if you think practicing metta is something beyond, not here, beyond over there, and that's not going to happen. You have to really put a mirror. So this is Metta Sutta is the mirror. Put the mirror in front of you and read it again and again and reflect. Reflect it into yourself and then see yourself. Am I humble or not? Am I contented or discontented? Am I stressed by burden? Am I burdened by something? We carry lots of burdens. You have to be honest. We carry lots of burdens of many things. Children or money or status or wealth, many things. Various burdens we carry. You have to ask yourself, am I burdened by something? So then you find that what am I burdened by? Then you unburden that. You put that on the ground. You put it down. You put down your burden, and you have to ask that question again and again. And yeah, they are peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Am I someone who is proud and demanding in nature? Have I ever been criticized or even commented by others being proud or demanding person? So you can reflect on that. And then when you reflect, that's the power of reflection. It clears your mind. You become honest. So you become very honest with yourself. You become very honest and pure-hearted about yourself. You begin to feel less fearful, less ashamed, because fear is the factor that we all driven by fear. We all driven by fear. So the fear of being criticized, fear of being losing, fear of dying, fear of not attaining nibbana, fear of going to hell, fear of many things. When your heart is clear and pure, you have no fear. When you see that place in your own heart, no fear place, and then you can say, am I someone who has lots of fears or free from fears? So you can reflect. And also, yeah, the next one, let's them not do slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Am I doing things that the wise person, a sappurusha, a wise person would reprove or reprimand or criticize me one day, wouldn't be happy about? me doing that or saying that. So, sometimes we have habits, we all make mistakes, and we understand ourselves through our mistakes. Okay, I made a mistake, it hurts, ouch, it hurts you. Being hurt is not comfortable feeling, you can't feel at ease when you're hurt. So most of the pain is, in fact, self-inflicted. And we inflict lots of pain in the heart by our own speech and actions and thoughts. So here, if you can reflect on these qualities, then you can see yourself clearly. Yes, I am, I have this weakness. I have this weakness. I have this nature in my system, in my body, in my mind, and it would be advisable, it would be wise for me to start to let go these weaknesses one by one. So then you begin to let go these weaknesses, to let go, and then that's the meditation. That's a fight. You fight with your weaknesses. You fight. I mean, in the end, it becomes no fight, but the virya, samavayam, the effort, you had to put effort to understand and to confront. I would withdraw the word fight, maybe confront. You confront your weaknesses. That's how you become fearless. The Lord Buddha said his disciples, the Arahants, his disciples are fearless. Why? Because they confront their own fears. They confront their weaknesses. They confront their own nature. And by confronting defilements, I would say, the weaknesses, kilesa, whatever you call it, by confronting, and you begin to feel yourself, and you confront them, and there will be one day they all disappear. You confront and confront and confront. They cannot live that longer. Once you confront something, for example, you confront your say you're not gentle. I know I'm not gentle. Sometimes I use harsh words and harsh speech, and then I know that, but I confront that in myself, and it's very difficult to let go, because that's you become your identity. Your defilements have become your identity. You become the identity of your defilements. So, the anger, for some people, anger is their identity, and it's not easy to let go. So then once you start to let go, to do that, to let go, you have to confront. Once you confront, and they slowly, first time it's a shock, second time it's like hammering a rock. In Sri Lanka, we have Galkadano, they keep hammering and hammering and hammering. They keep pounding, hitting, just on the one spot. The skilled rock splitter, the skilled rock splitter knows where to hit and then how many times. He keeps hitting again, and again, keeps hitting, but he wouldn't lose hope. He knows at some point this rock is going to crack. And then, once you hit enough, 100 times, 50 times, and then rock splits. Just like that, you confront again and again and again and again. And then so-called defilements, kilesa, begin to split or disappear. It takes time. It could take months. The least could take years, 10 years, 15 years, 50 years. But no matter how long it takes, just keep hitting. keep confronting, keep confronting, keep confronting. And there will be time they disappear. You feel free.
Can
Yes,
I take next question, Ajan?
yes.
This is from anonymous attendee. Thank you, Ajan, for a very valuable talk on metta. To truly evoke metta within oneself, is it through samadhi meditation that metta develops fully? Process of letting go. The usual process of chanting, may I be well, etc., doesn't seem to develop truly, but seems like just a repetition. Am I correct in this understanding, Ajan?
Yes, true. Yeah, you're correct. I mean, just need to correct one thing, but we do lots of repetition. We repeat like parrots. May I be well, may I be well, may I be well. Sometimes you think, what am I going to cook today? I think like in the background, many thoughts, but we repeat the metta. That doesn't work. It's like singing. It's like singing. So yeah, and actually the metta is not something you see through the samadhi. Actually, you go to samadhi through metta. And you don't have to take my word. This is how I think. The way I think doesn't mean that, it is the way. And there are many, many ways. But my way of thinking, when you practice all these qualities, your heart becomes, first, your heart becomes kind of at ease. You feel the easiness in your heart. Your heart is not tight. You feel ease, and then you don't feel ill will anymore. You're not interested. You're not interested in ill will. You're not interested in anger. So you're not interested. So you feel that ease, and then. You feel the ease. You feel like you are not shackled. You're not shackled by something. You're not chained, or you're not bound by something. You have a boundless. You're becoming boundless. Your heart becomes boundless. You feel free. You feel your heart starts to feel free and at ease. When you feel free and at ease, the natural place of that heart is samadhi. Then your heart is free and feeling at ease. The natural place of that heart is samadhi, or samadhi means, samadhi, we think samadhi is something you sit down and you don't wake up for 10 hours. Samadhi is not something like that. Samadhi, as I understand, as I think, samadhi is something you have enough mental capacity or mental freedom that your heart has capacity to let go of kilesa, free. Your heart has the capacity to feel free, unattached, or unshackled, or unbound, out of prison. So that's what I think. I hope that's enough.
Thank you. Shall I take the next question? It's from
Yes.
Ranjit Tabru, Reverend Sir. In Mangala Sutta, the Buddha says, Asayavanacha Balani, which means do not associate with undesirables. In life, we do have undesirable persons within the society and family. In that situation, how could one have a boundless and pure heart to practice metta? Unless you are unless you are enlightened like the Buddha, who was able to practice metta even to a murderer like Devadatta.
Yeah, the best way to live the shortest answer for that is not being affected by them, because we feel affected influenced by those kind of people. So if you don't feel influenced, and I have seen people, they have association with all kinds of people that they don't feel influenced. They don't feel affected by them because they don't lose their freedom. If you know who you are, if you know who you are, if you know your own mind, in English, plain English, it says someone who knows one's own mind. If you know your own mind, if you know your own fears, if you know your own freedom, you're not affected, you're not influenced, you're not afflicted by anything. So that's the shortest answer for that. Don't be affected by that. If you feel you're affected by that, you're being influenced by that, that's your weakness.
Right. Thank you, Ajahn. I think there are a few more questions, so we may have to give short answers. I'll just read it again. This is from Indira Fernando. Thank you, Ajahn, for the wonderful explanation. The qualities shown in the sutta for metta to take place illustrates a well-practiced Buddhist in the noble path. Is my understanding correct?
Very correct. Yes. That's this is the well-practiced, so very simple. This is Buddhism in simple terms. Just read the Metta Sutta. You can download this from Amaravati website or somewhere. Just read the Metta Sutta and understand and mirror it to yourself. Use it as your own mirror, reflection. So you can reflect yourself in this mirror, and then you can develop your life. And that's the greatest practice if you could do. You can come to the end. Not born again into this world. That's the result.
Thank you, Ajahn. The next one is from Mahendra Gonsal Korale. I am curious to know what the Venerable means by your heart, either in physical or mental terms, or I suppose in a more deeper sense.
Is the place you feel tense and ease. Let's take it like that. Whatever you feel, when you are tense, you're burdened and tense, there's a place that you feel that, don't you? There's somewhere, I don't know whether around here or whatever, it doesn't matter where in the physical sense. Wherever you feel it, you feel tense, you feel uneasy, you feel tense, or you feel at ease and happy. That's what I meant, the heart.
Ajahn, just one on that matter, how does it differentiate from the mind? The heart, what we are talking of, is it differentiating with
Doesn't
the
matter,
mind?
does it? We are not interested in what heart and what mind. We are interested in freedom. It doesn't matter. What we are interested in freedom, you need to experience freedom, practice towards freedom, liberation. That's that's the prime interest, liberation. So it doesn't matter whether it's heart or whether it's mind or whether it's nervous system, whatever. Freedom. Once you feel you are liberated, once you experience liberation, your whole system is liberated. Whether it's heart, mind, nervous system, everything, an experience of liberation. The experience of liberation is liberation from everything.
Thank you, Ajahn. Next question is from Anoja Vijayasekara. Is it only an enlightened person that can practice real metta?
No. So I read the Metta Sutta. So you don't have to become enlightened to reflect your life on the Metta Sutta. Like I said, am I humble or conceited? Your practitioner is not enlightened yet. If the metta is only for enlightened, what's the point? What's the point? But you can practice according to this sutta. You can practice. You can make the metta sutta as your guidance, your mirror, and you see every day yourself in that mirror, And that's the practicing. Of course, once you become fully enlightened, you don't need that mirror. You know yourself very well. You have done what you had to do with the mirror. Excuse me. So yes and no, the one who really knows the metta is fully enlightened being. Of course, everything, like the wisdom or samadhi, everything is known by the fully enlightened being. But you don't have to become fully enlightened to practice metta or practice Buddhism. Then there's no point of the Buddha. You can practice, you can start the practice, and then you can feel, you can relish, you can taste of the freedom, in yourself, little by little, and your taste become more and more apparent. And once that freedom of the taste of freedom becomes more clear and apparent, and then you know you are on the path. So remember that there's path, and the Buddha has created a clear path. So you unenlightened human beings, we all walk on that path towards the end. So it
Thank you.
depends how much when you're on the path, you experience 5%. When you go a little bit more on the path, maybe you begin to experience 10%. When you complete the path, you feel it 100%.
Thank you, Ajan. The next question is from Samila Vanniachi. I have a question regarding the shackles that Ajan mentioned in the sutta. For example, people that grew up in Sri Lanka have conventional beliefs that they feel bounded to and find difficult to change, which when they are parents, they feel it is their right to expect from their children as well. And also many people believe they are wise because of age, gender, education, etc., which is quite different to the wisdom that Samma Sambuddha defines as wisdom.
What is the question? Like, could you
Well, I think first I have a question regarding the shackles that
Yes.
Ajahn mentioned in the sutta. For
Yeah.
example, people that grew up in Sri Lanka have conventional beliefs that they are bound to and find difficult to change.
Yeah.
Then there says, which when they are parents, they feel it is their right to expect from their children as well.
Mm.
And also many people believe they are wise because of age, gender, education, etc., which is quite different to the wisdom that Samma Sambuddha defines as wisdom.
Mm. Well, there are different kind of wisdom. I start from the end. The Lokuttara wisdom, the beyond world wisdom, which wisdom that helps, which wisdom that conducive to see beyond the world, and wisdom that we live. We all have certain kind of we have wise people in the world. In Sri Lanka, in the village, they make wise choices, they make wise decisions, and when they speak, they talk wise things. But the wisdom has different levels. So when you get older and mature and experienced, that's also kind of wisdom. The old matured person has wisdom in comparison to the wisdom that Buddha explained. In comparison, like the wisdom of an arahant cannot be compared to the wisdom of non-arahant or non-enlightened person. But wisdom is wisdom. It's only different grade. So yes, in Sri Lanka, and everywhere we have the shackles. Shackles. Being bound, being chained by something. The shackle in the heart, So what can we do? We have to understand that, and what we can understand, the shackles, it's natural. We all live in very intertwined, shackled world, family or everything. But don't make it a big problem. Don't make a big thing out of it. And don't create anything big out of it. Okay, we live in that. How can I can't just escape to the moon and live on myself? No shackles, no. And the shackle is not something that you, even if you change your location, your shackle will follow you. So what you can do, you can understand and um uh, understands and try to understand about shackle. What is it? How can I how can I become less impact? How could this shackle becomes less impact on me? Make something less impactful. So you have only less impact from a shackle. Of course, we have attachment. You think, I don't have family, I don't have children, but I have my teachers, I have my parents, and I have attachments. But I have to reflect, and I have to be wise enough to reflect on that and make it less impactful on my practice. Of course, we all, get battered by something, get upset. They're all part of life, part of path. And just try to understand and don't try to run away. We cannot run away as long as we are attached. Understand about shackle and try to feel at ease with it without making big thing out of it. But this I can't give an answer in very short time. It takes time, but so that's in brief. That's what I can say.
Thank you, Bhante. There is a comment from Gautami Pereira. Thanks for metta meditation. Can do easily. So I think she seems to be practicing it. We have some of our members here on the panel. Lalit Gunasinghe is in Australia. Lalit, you have any questions or comments?
No, Lakshman, no comments, but I valued the sermon and understood quite a lot of them. Thank you very much, Venerable.
Yeah, and also please maybe try to download this Metta Sutta maybe from Amaravati website, or that this is Amaravati version of Metta Sutta I read. So yeah, make it, paste it somewhere on a wall, and then every day you look at it and then reflect. Use as a mirror. This is my mirror. I see myself in this Metta Sutta. So then you can practice that every day and really, really use this amazing, this genius teaching of the Lord Buddha. This is really genius. This Metta Sutta is really all precise and all in one genius teaching and practice. If you could use the Metta Sutta as your daily mirror.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. One small question from Kumudu Karunaratna. Is it the qualities of a person who could practice metta is given in the first two stanzas in the sutta?
Sorry, say again.
Is it the qualities of a person who could practice metta given in the first two stanzas in the sutta?
Okay. not exactly in some part, yes, maybe you can say that, no, I think the different parts, you may feel like they are quite advanced. Even the last verses, it says whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. So, not exactly. You can download that and read it, and you can find there are it's a mixed. In some verses, yes, the first part, yes, they're more like qualities to be practiced, and then next part is more like more advanced, and then again it comes back to kind of practicing part. Yeah, I can say that, in the more weight on the first parts to practice as qualities.
Thank you, Ajahn. I think we are very thankful for this long time spent with us. We have our committee member, he is in the UK, Mr. Kamal Nilavira. So I will ask Kamal to pay merit to Ajahn Vinita.
Thank you, Lakshman. Much merit to you, Ajahn Vinita, for this interesting and practical sermon on Metta Sutra and developing loving kindness. In your sermon today, you explained very well in layman's terms to develop and practice metta. Thank you very much for going in such a deep and understanding way, which was very much appreciated. On behalf of all 132 Dhamma friends from all over the world, being a working day, who join us today, I wish to thank you for this lovely Dhamma talk. Finally, I want to also thank Professor Lakshman Vattavela for organizing the International Dhamma program on the Poya Day. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Kamal. I think we must also thank Dr. Dharmini and Amara Makalanda, who really sent us
Yes, so sorry.
invitation.
So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and much merit to Ajahn Vinita for this very excellent Dhamma talk that was given on metta and also on the loving kindness. May I now invite Ajahn Vinita to pay merit to the Devas and also to those who have departed.
Yeah, okay. So let us all the merit, all the goodness that we have gathered today, we would like to invite and be rejoice in this merit, all the goodness, all the good forces in the world, deities and whoever could rejoice in this merit, may they all rejoice this merit and be free from all suffering. Akasatta ca bummatta devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu sasanam. Akasatta ca bummatta devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu desanam. Akasatta ca bummatta devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkantu mantanam. So likewise, all the departed relatives, if they are able to see this, rejoice in this, may they all receive this goodness, this good action, this good deed, all the merit from this good action. May they all receive this and realize be free from all suffering in samsara. Idang mo nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang mo nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang mo nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. So I give you my blessings. May you all be well, happy, and be able to practice Lord Buddha's teaching and realize Nibbana and be free from suffering and realize the liberation, ultimate liberation, the Nibbana. Sabbityo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi dighayo bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te abhivadana silis niccang uddhapachayino Chattaro Dhamma Vaddhanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Sabbe Buddha Balapatta Pacheka Nancha Yang Balang Arahanta Nancha Tejena Rakkang Bandami Sabbaso. So may you all be well and happy and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Ajahn, and also much merit to Ajahn Vinita for that very good and explanatory talk that was given today. And I'm sure, as mentioned, that we should practice it. I think that's the most important thing. And we would like to maybe, since Ajahn is be here for a few more days, if possible, that we will try to see whether we could meet up or whether we can come and see and pay
Yes.
much merit.
Yeah, you're most welcome. If you need to talk or anything, you can send me an email or send a message on my WhatsApp or whatever.
So, thank you very much and much merit to you, Bhante, and sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, yeah, thank you.